cultural development is super simple, but it's only super simple if you have, a good leader at the top of the company that wants to have a good culture. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So at the end of the day, if you have a negative personality, you have a bad mindset towards things like that, then you're going to create that same type of culture within your company. And maybe that's what you want. But I think, Disney is one of my favorite cultural examples. I think Chick-fil-A is another one for me that shows good culture. I think culture and having good culture translates right back to the bottom line. I think it's probably very hard to measure how much it really drives back to your bottom line, but I think in many, many ways it does. Surveys have shown that, productivity goes up 64% when you have the right person in the right seat, which is a cultural thing. When you have, emotional paychecks for your employees, not just financial. When you have customers being, customer first focus, you have a mindset of no resistance for your employees or for your customers. And so like studying, and a couple of different stories that come to mind. One for Chick-fil-A was there was a customer of Chick-fil-A actually did a video on this, and he said every single time he has a bad day, he goes to Chick-fil-A. And the reason he goes to Chick-fil-A is he will order like up to 12 items, and he'll order them individually. So he'll literally go through the lines up to 12 times to get one item. And you're laughing already because you think about it, like they know it, right? The employees know this guy's coming through the drive-through 12 times, okay? Now, why does he do it? And he's like, when I'm having a bad day, I just want to hear my pleasure 12 times. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure, right? And as you talked about earlier, my friend, like cultural, companies that drive on culture and train on culture and create a mindset around culture, they tend to have very friendly, outgoing, happy people, and everybody is their friend, right? And it is a pleasure at Chick-fil-A to be served, And so, and then, same thing at Disney. You go back to Disney and you talk about like how outgoing everybody is and how happy they are. I tell you, like when I have a podcast to get on, or I have video content to create, or I have to go in front of a client and I'm not happy and the culture's not feeling good in the company, or I don't feel like locked in, or my mindset's not there, it translates. Even with friends, I've had some friends recently that I spent some time with, and they were immediately like, hey, what's wrong? Like something seems off. And I think probably more in my personality than other people's personality, because I'm typically on a high most of the time. So when I'm not on that high, then it's like, whoa, what's going on? It's almost like being on a roller coaster that's no longer going to climb the hill. It's just going to flat roller coaster. And so I think it shows up a little bit more. But, that tells us that as a business leader and owner, like our employees have to be happy or the culture is not going to be there. And so they got to be happy in multiple areas. You got to make sure your employees are happy in multiple areas. And the first one is in the area of like right seat, if you will, right position. When we create culture and we don't put people in the right position, and we just drive for performance without full long-term potential, then people will do the job and they'll be successful and they'll make you money and they'll make themselves money. But the problem with that is it doesn't always translate back to a good culture, because they're there to win. They're there just to make money. And so the intangibles don't show up. They just do exactly what they have to do. And so, George Carlin said that most people work hard enough not to get fired, get paid just enough not to quit. And what he's talking about is have to employees versus want to employees. And want to employees, they go the extra mile. See, here's the thing. When your daughter was at Disney last week and that lady came over, she answered her question. She could have resolved and performed her job very good and gotten her what she needed, And I will tell you, I've gone to Walmart before and been happy with somebody's service. I was like, hey, I need this. And they're like, here it is. And then, take me over there. I was in a restaurant last week. Same thing. Hey, where's your bathroom? Let me show you. And they walked me all the way to the other side of the restaurant to make sure I knew where I was going. And honestly, I probably got a little lost because it was a big restaurant. But they don't have to go that extra mile. They don't have to get down on their knees and talk to your daughter and make her feel welcome and special and things like that. They don't have to do that, right? And when they're a have to employee, they won't do that. They won't go the extra mile. They don't want to. And when they want to, productivity goes up. They go the extra mile. Not only for you, but for your company and for your culture, And so that's an important ingredient. So it's like we can't measure people and just put them in seats or positions just because, they've done the job before and they've got some results in it. They also have to desire it. It's very important. Or do they desire this position? The next thing is, what creates a great culture is not only having them in the right position or seat or whatever, they also have to be the right people for the culture. They have to match our values and our vision. I call it the double V effect, the values and the vision of the organization. What is the values? What are the vision? And a company that doesn't have values and vision, they have an erratic culture, right? Because they don't have any ingredients to bring in people into the organization with. And so you have to have values, you have to have vision, and it's not just about like, we're gonna buy and sell this product. No, the vision is like how many we're gonna buy and sell. What are we trying to accomplish? What are our goals this quarter? What are our goals next quarter? What are our goals this year? What are our goals in 3 years from now? The Bible even says when there's no vision, the people perish. And when the people perish, they give up, they quit, they come because they have to. Then your culture gets affected by it, right? Third, for me, is they have to align with our goals to have the right culture. They need a vision for sure, right? To be the right people, but they also have to see how their goals of life are going to be achieved by helping the company achieve their goals. And they have to be on board with those goals. It's one thing for a leader to stand up and like, hey, this is what we're going to do this quarter. It's another thing for everybody to buy into that goal. And when people don't get excited about the goal, then they're not going to align. And then last for me is purpose. I think to have a great culture, you got to have purpose. And you have to have and know your employees' purpose. There's a good book out right now, and I've been reading a lot of good books on culture, but this is probably one of the ones I like the most right now, and it's called Dream Manager. And in Rise, in the Rise Business Framework, I talk a lot about the emotional paycheck, talk a lot about this thing called purpose, the whole section in the book on purpose and these 4 areas of position and, personality and values and goal alignment and purpose alignment. All 4 of those come together. And I think those 4 things are very important with any relationship you have in life, whether it's a personal relationship or professional relationship. You got to have good culture, right? And what creates good culture is people got to be in the right seat. People got to be the right people. People got to align with goals. People got to align with purpose. And purpose is that last piece that's so important, because if an employee comes to work for you and they do not see how their life's purpose is being achieved by helping you achieve your purpose as a company, then you're nothing more than just a paycheck to them. I really truly believe that cultures come alive when people take time to invest in their employees and help them achieve not only their goals, but their purpose in life. And goals and purpose are 2 different things. I mean, you could have a goal to go to Disney like you did last week. That's a goal, right? But does that help you achieve your life's purpose? No, right? Could it aid in your life's purpose? Sure, right? If part of your life's purpose is have quality time, be known as being a good dad, a good husband, things like that, then it could aid in your life's purpose, but it's not your purpose, going to Disney. Now, Austin's might be going to Disney. That might be his life's purpose, but I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, do we align in purpose? And I think this cultural ingredients, like, transcends business. I think it goes into personal relationships. Whether you have a significant other or you have a best friend, like, what makes it work? Well, first and foremost, you have to be in the right position. You have to have a certain level of understanding of what role you play in that person's life. I have friends that there are roles I play in their life that have nothing to do with business, right? And then there are friends that I have that have nothing to do with, with personal. It's all business, So it's like, what role do I play? When somebody's in a relationship with somebody, it's important, I think, for somebody to have a good understanding of what position they're going to